We back. Don't never say I lied to you. Trailhand Bill, The Adventures of. I'm gonna keep talking about that. But that's not what we here. This is the weekly wrap up. If you're new to the channel, I guess we'll see how you feel about it when we get going, huh? Everybody else, it's a beautiful Saturday night, man. Let's see what's going on in America.
A mother and FBI witness shot and killed by a violent crimes task force. It happened 5 years ago in El Mirage. The ABC 15 investigators now learning more about what happened and, more importantly, what went wrong. Her family speaking exclusively to our team.
Her car was shot at, glass was everywhere.
This FBI operation was never about Melanie Duvall.
Everything was ripped out of her truck. There was caution tape.
But what happened on June 19th, 2019 cost Melanie her life.
It's insane, you know, how they can shoot at somebody 22 times and call that reasonable.
Her red pickup truck riddled with bullets at US 60 and Thompson Ranch Road during an FBI undercover investigation in El Mirage. What would you want to say to the FBI and the officers who shot your mom?
Stop abusing your power.
What Melanie's daughter didn't know at the time was her mother was an FBI witness, helping law enforcement capture a wanted suspect they say she was in a short-term relationship with.
I know they know what they've done wrong.
5 years later, Adriana Navarrete is still fighting for accountability and has filed this federal lawsuit. How would you describe this case?
It's one of the most horrifying, most tragic cases I've seen in my 48 years of practicing law.
Adriana's attorney, Michael Berg, says the FBI task force should have called off its operation.
This was a plan that had gone awry. They knew that there was a problem. They decided to go in and, in my opinion, just cowboy it.
Berg says Melanie was helping the FBI capture this guy, Ernesto Izaguirre, wanted on multiple felony warrants, including aggravated assault, drugs, and stealing cars.
She was cooperating and talking to the FBI throughout this entire situation.
And for the first time, court records detail what her family says went wrong.
It was absolutely outrageous.
According to the lawsuit, the original plan was for Melanie to drive the wanted suspect to this Walmart. An FBI task force was going to arrest him in the parking lot.
We showed up at Walmart, and that's when everything started getting really weird. And, you know, Ernesto started acting really fidgety. I knew something was wrong.
Adriana got out of the truck minutes before. Also in the car, a 16-year-old girl who survived. When the original plan failed, officers tried a traffic stop nearby, surrounding Melanie's truck on all four sides. And court documents say conducted a boxing in and ramming tactic, which is known to be dangerous.
We believe that he then, while she was in the driver's seat, hit the accelerator and pushed the car in front a very tiny distance. And at that point, they opened up fire.
They were excessive about what they've done. 22 times she was shot at.
That number of gunshots, also mentioned in court records. And here's a critical piece of information. Court documents say the FBI task force knew the wanted suspect was going to turn violent and had a prior history of ramming through a roadblock.
They knew. She had been telling the FBI.
Berg points to this text message as proof. It's between the FBI task force and Melanie in the hours before the shooting. She voiced concerns about going forward with the operation. Melanie wrote, "He will take my truck and run if we're in it. I can promise that." An officer responded, "You have to drive." Melanie wrote back, "I will. He will take my truck this time. He told me if we ever get pulled over again." And what did the FBI do?
They ignored it.
The lawsuit claims the shooting was both unlawful and unjustified. It also claims no weapons were ever found in Melanie's truck. And it says Melanie Duvall was never a suspect of any crime, yet her driver's window was riddled with bullets.
I have to tell my children that they'll never have a grandma.
An innocent person who's not only not a bystander, but someone who's cooperating. This should never, ever happen again.
I'll never stop fighting for my mom. They just miss her a lot. I love her so much.
We asked the FBI for comment and for more specifics on Melanie's role in their undercover operation, but the agency declined our request. As for the investigation, the wanted suspect was arrested that night. and according to DOC records, was released from prison last month. In court documents, the FBI has justified the shooting by saying other officers were in danger. But the family's attorney tells us there's no evidence that's the case and are prepared to take this to trial. I'm investigator Jennifer Kovaleski, ABC 15, Arizona.
I'm Trailhand Bill reporting live from South Florida, man. I've been in Pembroke Pines all day. It's very beautiful out here. If you're new here, man, we usually have one video, and then I would say if you want to leave because all you wanted to see was the video, this is the time to, because it'll just be my opinion going forward. But on the weekly wrap-up, we have 3 videos. So there will be at least 2 more, Lord willing. This obviously your decision whether you leave or stay. This is how this channel is set up. Yeah, man. I didn't lie to y'all. I said I'll be drinking tequila this weekend, and that's what I'm doing. With Panera lemonade, I don't really be drinking that stuff, but every once in a while I'll mix some with alcohol. I be considering how to cover these stories, man. Sometimes I just be straight trailhand and go dive right in. I'm very emotional. I'm very also, but I'm not wild with my emotions. I'm not finna just jump out windows or anything like that. I got a lot of PTSD, man, from things I've seen happen in life. That doesn't qualify me as a victim. I'm just saying, like, this is why certain things resonate with me and draw certain things out of me. You know what I mean? Because of my contextual existence. So, but then it's like I want to slow down and talk like I'm talking right now, so I can just minus the emotions, think through what I'm saying instead of blurt out how I feel. And I don't know, man. I really don't, because I got so much going through my head right now. Number one, why y'all still thinking the police are anybody's allies? They're not even their own allies. I got stories in the vault right now about them turning on each other. Another, it's on, and so it's nobody alive could ever cover how much wicked these cowards be up to. So why is anybody thinking these cowards could ever be an ally, a trusted ally, a safe ally? I want to say, shorty, you killed your motherfucker, son. That's what I want to say, but it's so insensitive, and then she might have somebody in her family hear that, and if they were in my face, they'd be done knock my ass out, and who could say I wouldn't deserve it, right? But am I lying? Did she not participate in her own murder? How the fuck you in a pit with vipers and negotiating and talking about coming up with a plan about how y'all gonna catch coyotes to eat and kill and eat? What you think? If they ain't gonna get if they can't get a coyote, what the fuck you think they gonna do to you? I mean, literally, the coyote, they said, if they're lying, it's the media, not me. The coyote just came home. Shorty, you dead as hell right now. So first and foremost, man, FTP, they can't do nothing for you, family. If you're fraternizing with the cops, I pray you got a well thought out plan that definitely benefits you and keep you and anybody that you love, and matter of fact, anybody else beside them safe. And even them, because I'm not an advocate of senseless violence, but you need to be in control of that if you're in any business with these cowards. Shout out to the loud vehicles. The baby was in the car, the 16-year-old was in the car. I knew they was gonna draw it down to officer safety, so let me tell you what they're saying to us repeatedly, and they ain't giving no damn callously. If you're not getting it, their lives are more valuable than ours. Motherfucker, this your operation. Her little pretty ass was doing y'all job better than y'all was. She said, boy, this ain't it, this it. Listen, strike right now, man. This the move right now. I'm telling you, no, man. It's up right now. Because all you about to do is cause some catastrophe for somebody, and you can't predict. I can predict what's going to happen. You can't predict whose life that's going to terrorize. And it ended up being hers. And these cow motherfuckers just run back to the office in the department and say, hey, man, officer safety. So I don't mean this young lady no damn harm. And I don't mean her family and loved one no damn harm. I ain't never met her in my life. I heard about it in my life. But man, all that civil shit. 22 shots. They murdered this baby girl, man. She was pretty as a motherfucker. Got a whole family. FBI. I'm in Pembroke Pines. The office down here in Miramar, probably 20 miles away, if that. You high-powered cowards. Let's see what's going on in America.
Family members identifying the man who was shot and killed by police this morning as 21-year-old Jaylen Moore. Police say that they got a call about a man having a mental health crisis, but say that when they got there, Moore had a gun and refused to drop it.
Kim Nguyen has been following the story all day. She's live in Fort Lauderdale with the latest. Kim.
Yeah, well, Moore's grandfather shared pictures of him, but was too upset to speak with us on camera. Now, police say that officers were forced to shoot when Moore came outside with a gun, but refused to drop it. This is a picture of 21-year-old Jaylen Moore. Family members identified him as the person shot and killed by Fort Lauderdale police officers Wednesday morning. Neighbors say they heard multiple gunshots.
It was like about 5 times, at least. You know,
it was like boom, boom, boom,
boom, boom, boom.
They had their hands on their weapons. I didn't know what was going on.
The shooting happened in front of this home on Southwest 25th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale, a home that now has bloodstains in the driveway and a car left riddled with bullets. Police say just before 10:45 Wednesday morning, officers got a call about a man having a mental health crisis.
The information that we received from dispatch was that he was suicidal in nature.
On their way there, police say officers found out that the man had a gun and was inside the home with family members, including a baby. Investigators say when they got to the home, Moore came outside armed.
The adult male exited the home with the firearm, and officers gave verbal commands for the gentleman to put the gun down. He did not comply with those commands and was endangering officers as well as the community, and officers engaged him.
But police say he wouldn't drop it.
He did not comply with those commands and was endangering officers and the community.
That's when investigators say 3 officers engaged him, then were forced to shoot. Moore was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Police call the shooting unfortunate.
It was, a very unfortunate outcome, and it's still very sad, and that is not lost on us.
The FDLE is investigating the shooting. The officers involved are on paid administrative leave pending the investigation. For now, we are reporting live from Fort Lauderdale. Kim Nguyen, NBC6 News.
Kim, thank you.
I did the politically correct bit in the first video, man. We going straight trailhead with this one. Y'all got that call about that man was having a mental health crisis. So are y'all tying like mental health crisis and suicidal together? Or y'all saying like, because it was mental health crisis and suicide, so did y'all get the 2 notes, or are you guys just using different verbiage to say the same thing? I want to cuss that cop bitch out. It's not lost on us. Yes, the fuck it is. That's why your stupid ass sat down on that podium giving that bullshit ass excuse about why they murdered that man. So they shot I don't know what the young lady name was, man. Lord forgive me, in the first video. They shot her, but she wasn't black though. She wasn't hood, she wasn't ghetto. I'm just saying we stereotyping people right now based on what we seen. But they shot her at 22 times. They knew her too. That was one of their homeboys. That was one of their homegirls. She was working with. They were supposed to be their people. Yeah, right. Y'all better stop trusting these coward motherfuckers. So they shot her 22 times though. But the black guy who could be stereotyped as the, what they be saying in the comments, usual suspect, they only shot him a couple times. Funny how that works, huh? We all Negroes now. And all those cowards standing around that scene, man, and then this bitch gonna get on the podium and say, officers engaged him, he wouldn't put the gun down. I'm just thinking like, these folks, and I don't put, like, you can't just be walking around with guns and mental health problems. You can't be walking around sane with guns, acting crazy and shit. I'm not saying anybody should willingly put their damn life in danger because your ass having an episode, whether it be something beyond your mental capacity or within it. We still got to protect ourselves too. People with troubled minds have done some heinous things out here to people who didn't deserve for heinous things to be done to them. All these things got to be considered. But I always be thinking these motherfuckers be having weapons and this and that and guns and knives. And in the first story, y'all had to trump that man charges up to make it seem like it made sense for y'all to shoot at y'all own home girl 22 times. Y'all gonna make it sound as bad as possible so y'all can make some bullshit excuses that America, the blue ass motherfucker, gonna let y'all get off the hook with. Not us, not over here. We don't do that shit. There's a whole world of us know better. So, the gun is there, but it ain't no motherfucker hurt till y'all get there. Y'all gotta, you just gotta have, you got control issues. He has to obey your bullshit orders. You tell him to put the gun, he ain't did a damn thing with it. But you tell him to put it. What happened to the hostage negotiator, man? What happened to the mental health counselor, man? You know, a few years ago, and I think it happened twice, but it definitely happened once, man. I watched, and the world did. You seen it too. If you know what I'm talking about, you're about to. It was one of these mass shootings. Rest in peace to those victims. Condolences to their loved one. This shit real. It ain't no movie. It ain't Netflix. You can't turn it off and turn it back on. Them folk gonna be alive. They ass out of here on some bullshit. But it was one of those mass shootings. And it was a regular ass citizen, man. This man got a fully auto, what the hell ever gun he got, taking real human beings out. The regular citizen sat his ass down and took the gun for. I'm talking about, it's on camera, it's on YouTube. I ain't doing all that extra stuff, but I seen it. It resonated with me so much because I'd be like, cops be killing people for having spoons eating cereal. This motherfucker literally took a fully automatic weapon from somebody who had already murdered a bunch of humans with it. And it wasn't no video game. It ain't like he didn't put himself in danger to do it. But you motherfuckers be murdering people because acorns grow on trees. And this ain't, like, once again, this ain't Netflix. We all know this shit happens. 3 officers engaged him. Nah, some cowards engaged him. I talked about this story the other night. I said on one of my lives, I said, they just killed a young man down here in Fort Lauderdale, about 20 miles from me. I said that on live. I knew I was going to cover the story a lot with him. We're going to talk more about all of this on the end of this one, Lord willing. Stop thinking these cowards are your allies, man. We are all Negroes now, and among their ranks, they don't just have Southern, white, bigoted-ass racist men and their families. They got some Negroes there, too, now. They got some Hispanics, they got some every motherfucker about it, man. And they all snakes and they all cowards. Let's see what else going on in America. 2 unnecessarily deceased comrades of ours later.
Today, we are learning more about what's next in the investigation of an officer's takedown of a 71-year-old man in Oklahoma City after that officer was charged with a felony.
KOCO's Dakota Wapakichi following this story with what's next in the officer's investigation.
To felony charges for Oklahoma City Sergeant Joseph Gibson.
Located? Your vehicle is not like that. Sit down! No. You sit down! Sit on the ground!
In the weeks following the incident, we asked Police Chief Ron Basie how the investigation would play out.
We have to do our due diligence to ensure justice for all parties involved in this incident. At this point, it's a criminal investigation. It's being investigated by the Office of Professional Standards, and upon completion of it, it will be presented to the District Attorney's Office so that they can make an independent finding on criminal charges.
Now the District Attorney has filed a felony of aggravated assault and battery on Sergeant Gibson. So what's next? Well, Chief Basie says his department will make a decision on whether there is any punishment. Then the case will go in front of the Community Public Safety Advisory Board.
The board reviews the results of completed investigative cases regarding Oklahoma City police officers. They also review the complaint investigative process itself.
Andrea Grayson manages that board with 8 members and a chair, with citizen representation from every ward in Oklahoma City. She says they're the final step in personnel investigation with the police department, and they have influence on the final discipline decision.
If the board does not agree with something, a step that was taken by the chief and by the police department, then that is influenced after that.
The officer is still on paid administrative leave. The board's manager says it will eventually come their way after police decide what they're going to do.
It will come to the Community Public Safety Advisory Board. That board brings a very unique view. It's the view of the resident that board brings.
Lick Vu, the 71-year-old Vietnamese man in this incident with Sergeant Gibson, is still in the hospital over a month after the incident. In Oklahoma City, Dakota Wapakichi, KOCO 5 News.
Y'all killed that lady, man. Y'all killed that young man. Y'all damn near killed Dad. He's still in the hospital, man. His folk don't know if he gonna get out, and he gonna get up and he gonna get out of the hospital, man. I stereotype the hell out of that young man down there in Florida. I quite often say in these videos, just because you see somebody of a darker skin tone doesn't mean they're black, or a lighter skin tone, or, you know, a paler skin tone doesn't mean they're white. That just isn't how things work in South Florida. That's very pertinent here because he's in Arizona, Florida, Oklahoma City, we got Asian, whatever this gentleman is, and I could speculate that the young lady who was murdered by coward-ass FBI agents was Latina, Hispanic, whichever one I'm supposed to say. I'm just trying to say we all Negroes now, man. If you're a regular viewer, you know what the hell I mean. You've heard me say that time and time again. If you're not, it's nowhere for your ass to hide. I'm just gonna keep it real. I ain't intelligent worth a month. I just kind of like, especially on a night like this, I want to speak from my heart, man. It is nowhere for you to hide. You cannot make enough money. You cannot live in a gated enough community. You cannot be unhoused enough, just off the map, one of the unheard of and unmentionables, one of the invisibles. You can't just be in a mediocre sense living your way, navigating your way through life, staying off the map, family man, family woman, family child. You're not safe, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't finna pound y'all head with my faith and religion, but my confidence comes from knowing that there's nothing that a coward can do to me, no matter who they represent, that's gonna change the fact that my eternal fate is sealed in Jesus Christ. That's how I feel. Y'all know I'm gonna say I don't give no damn how you feel about it. That's how I feel. That's where my confidence comes from. But I shudder to not be a Christian and have that hope. Because where the fuck is y'all motherfuckers gonna run for safety from these coward-ass domestic terrorists? They even engage in wage war in other countries who feel like they gotta come back over here to get their get back, and who be the victim of that shit? Because I always say it ain't just the beat cops, it's the government who sanctions them and enables them. Where y'all going for safety? If not Christ, it's delusion. That's where the fuck y'all going. And you know, obviously I'm being a little narrow-minded there, but I hope you get the point. Because there's a medium there too. You just got to know who these folks is, man, and be ready to defend yourself. Because they ain't got a compassionate, considerate, courteous bone in their body. They get trained, untrained, we should say, badged and equipped up with these military weapons. And then they get sent out there to play heroes among American citizens that they very commonly abuse, attack, and murder. With no reprisal whatsoever, man. It be breaking my heart. I think your first line of defense, if it isn't Christ, needs to be knowing your damn rights. I think you need to teach your children to know their rights. That young lady was pretty as a motherfucker. I'm pretty sure she got her daughter out here warring her memory for justice for her. She got a lawyer on the case. He probably just wants some money, but whatever. The young man, his granddad is so fucked up by he can't even get on camera. These folk got people that love him. The Asian dad got a whole family, man. All the cowards involved at home with their people right now about to celebrate the holidays. If God bless them to live to see it. These cowards ain't giving no. This big gonna stand on the podium and say it isn't lost. Yes, the fuck it is lost on y'all. That's why it continues to happen to us. I just think as an American, you got to decide what end of that motherfucking stick you want to be on. The dead body on the ground that they had fake apologizing and fake showing condolences for, had some bullshit at that podium. Or the one that's still here to tell the story. No matter how the situation turned out. I'm Trey and Bill. This has been a weekly wrap up. I'm going to close it out on the end. I'm not going to say blame the tequila, man, because I don't like to see people victimized. I don't like to see people brutalize and murder people and act like, you know what I mean, they just ordered dinner or something. It really boiled my blood. It's like if you declaring war on people, man, people have a right to war back. So that's not tequila. That's my God-given right. Y'all be good. Thank you if you made it this far. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you care to go a little further than that, maybe even subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out a few of the other videos on the channel. Either way, y'all be safe.